Hi everyone and welcome finally back to some more league racing. This is a brand new league, it's called FXR and it is actually partly run by someone who we raced with quite a while ago now, Psycho Swish, who we raced with back on F1 2013 in a few leagues, and also actually did a co-op series with on the channel back on F1 2015 as well. He's not called Psycho Swish anymore, he's called FXR Vettel, obviously after the name of this new league. And yeah, I'm very much looking forward to the start of this. Then obviously if you were around about a year ago on the channel, you remember I said about I had to pull out of AOR, and yeah, I couldn't really do much league racing anymore just because of my work schedule. Sadly that is still the case really. I'm still quite limited on what stuff I couldn't take part in really, and yeah, so sadly there's no real chance of AOR coming back anytime soon, but for me. But thankfully this one is one of the few leagues that I can sort of race in very consistently with my schedule, so that's quite good, and it's good to at least have something to be able to take part in. Obviously we did do RFL, I did post one video of that on the channel, but unfortunately it just didn't really work out. We did about half a season in the league in the second half of the last season there. Just unfortunately I just didn't really think that the races went that well and they weren't really worth uploading. I also couldn't really do many videos at that time because we were in lockdown and it was quite kind of hard for me to like record commentaries back then, so yeah, there's a few reasons why, but yeah, I couldn't really do videos at that time, and yeah, I just wasn't really like motivated to do videos for those. But I'm hopeful for this league. It seems very good. We've done a few test races as well, and I'm really quite optimistic, I think, about this league. I think it could be very good. I mean, I've only raced with one other person in this league, and that is FXR Vettel, but obviously I know from all the times we raced that he's a very good racer, and there seems to be a good group of people that he's got together, so I think there's going to be some very good races to come. So we're here then for this first race in Australia. We unfortunately didn't get as many as we were hoping for this race. I think we ended up with about 11 at the start, but nonetheless we still did the 3 stages of qualifying. But yeah, these were just the laps that I did in Q3. Really going for it on these soft tyres because the race is forecast to be wet, so I was also running with some changes to my setup that I wouldn't normally have in the dry, so that may have affected my time a little bit, but I did make a few mistakes on that lap as well, on both laps. It's Pyro then who takes the first pole position with Jono in second and Vettel in third place. We were fourth then. I think maybe one place better was maybe what we could have done there, but yeah, we did make a couple of little mistakes I think during the lap. Unfortunately 7 people set a time in qualifying, but I think some people crashed out earlier on as well, so that played a part. As you can see, it's going to be raining all the way through, and it's looking like Inter's all the way through as well then, so that is going to be what we'll be starting on. Looks like we're making one pit stop. I've also underfueled the car as well because I don't think we're going to be using a whole lot of fuel here then, and I think running a bit lighter is going to benefit us. But as I said as well, we've got some setup changes as well. I made some changes to the rear wing and also the ride height, just to hopefully help with the balance a bit of the car, so we'll have to see how that factors in as well. So we set off then on the warm-up lap, and these will be the first wet laps of this track that I've actually done on this game, so that's going to be quite interesting then. I was actually a bit slow here off the warm-up lap because I had some sound issues, but thankfully that all got resolved by the end of the lap, so that's good. And yeah, now getting ready then to line up then on the grid, and how it's quite fitting really that we're going to be lining up alongside our old rival then, the only person who I've ever raced with before then who was in this league. So hopefully we're in for a good race then today, and yeah, we'll be back to like good old times. But obviously we want to come out on top, which did not happen that often back in the past, but we'll see what happens today then. We're lined up on the grid now then, and we have got the lights coming up. And the first race of FXR is underway. and it is a fantastic start actually from Vettel. We've had a pretty good start as well then, having a look at Jono towards turn 1. We just didn't really have the confidence on the brakes so to go lunging at the inside, and that allowed Pierre to get a good run around the outside. We were then quite wide in turn 2 just in case he slid back across the track, but I think that I really compromised my sort of exit there. Down towards turn 3 I locked at the front there a bit, forced Pierre out wide, but we managed to stay on the track there, and I think he got away without any damage, so that was okay there. And we maintained our starting position then of 4th place then, as it's Pyro who is leading the way then at the front, with Vettel then, who made that good start, managed to get himself past Alfa Romeo there of Jono, and it's really just going to be these first few laps really going to just be about survival, really just staying on the track. We don't know a lot about how the car is going to be, as we saw there, really let up the rears there out of turn 9, so yeah, certainly got to take it a bit easy then in these early laps, just to get a feel for these conditions and how the car is going to behave. We're a little bit wide in turn 12 there, we get a bit of a warning, and that is also probably going to put Pierre on us as well then, down towards turn 13, using a bit of overtake to make sure we manage to maintain position, but I think we had that one covered, as the safety car is out then already, because Ched has already crashed out the race, and unfortunately, so that is going to bunch everyone up again nice and early on, and Jack has actually also crashed out then, so it's an unfortunate start for those two then. As behind the safety car, we're actually a bit wider into turn 1, so a bit of a mistake there. But then, even bigger one from Vettel, he has lost the back end out of turn 2, and he is pointing backwards. I hate to say it, much like the real Vettel, I had to say it, but yeah, he's round. We're up to 3rd place, and that is a position then gained for us, and well, yeah, we're looking a little bit better then going into this restart then. As we're underway now then, Pyro, the pole sitter, he's led the way so far then, he leads this restart, as we've lost someone else then already, so already down to 8 unfortunately, but hopefully it's looking like it's still going to be a close battle here at the front then, as we've got, as we're still quite close to the back of Jono, but it doesn't look like we're going to be challenging him here into turn 3, and it is still Pyro that leads the way, and still Pierre who is still very close behind us, and Vettel then, after that mistake, is going to be on the rampage now then to try and regain those positions as well. Skipping on to the next lap, you can see that Jono was the one who set the pace here then. We were a few tenths slower, so we were starting to be cut adrift a little bit then of this lead battle. We did have a good gap to Pierre though, so we were still looking alright here then in these podium places, and yeah, things weren't going too badly at this stage. But actually by lap 9, I think tyre wear was starting to play a bit of a factor here, because yeah, the pace just came back to us a bit. We set some purple sectors, we started to reel them back in again, as it was still Pyro that led the way then by just a second there. There's another second back to us, and we set the fastest lap of the race there then, so yeah, the fight back was certainly on at this stage then. Sort of the tide was starting to turn a little bit then, as the the tyres started to wear out, and this really started to turn actually into a bit of a game of cat and mouse, because we close right up to Jono then, Pyro started to pull away again a bit, and it was just to and froing a little bit then, as like one of us would close in and then the other would start to pull away a bit, and this was happening like between the three of us. So you can see that Pyro has pulled out a 1.4 second lead then over Jono now, when it had been a second, but we're putting the pressure on Jono, so when he was looking quick before, he's suddenly looking the slower of the three. But then, as you can see, we've now dropped back a bit as well then as we approach our pit-in lap. So it really was just going back and forth then between the three of us, and it was, but nonetheless, so it was definitely closing in. As you can see, the gap is now almost within a second there then between the top three, and I think that overall over these last 4 or 5 laps, we were certainly the overall quickest then. I think we were looking after our tyres the best of this front three, so that was really helping us here then. And in fact, Jono was the first to pit then from the middle of that group, and yeah, he's the first one then to bail then for new tyres, and we'll see then what will work then, the undercut or the overcut. And yeah, we can see then that yeah, our tyres were still looking in pretty good condition, and because we closed right up to that gap that was left by Jono, and we managed to cut right to the back of Pyro there. He then pits on lap 14. I was also scheduled to pit, but I decided to just do the opposite to what he did there, and I was still setting some decent lap times there on this set of inters, so I thought I might as well just go for it. Either way, I mean, we either get an overcut and get into the lead, or we stay where we were in third place but have a bit fresher tyres than the other two, and you know, have better tyre wear as well. So I was thinking either way here we were looking not too bad here. I thought we had a very good chance here of potentially winning this race, and that was increased even more when it actually turned out that Pyro got a penalty for speeding in the pit lane at his pit stop, so that really plays into our hands then, because he's going to have a 5-second penalty to serve. And it is indeed Pyro then that still maintains the lead from all that, and Jono does maintain second place, having just set the fastest lap of the race there then. So it's back to status quo. We'll have to see if we can maintain our pace, well, some good pace here then, because we were obviously slower at the start of the previous stint and then got quicker as it went along. So we don't really want to lose too much time here then, just so we can make the most of having fresher tyres near the end. But there's another safety car now. Vettel has crashed out the race end, and rather unfortunate first race for him then. A few offs for him, unfortunately, and we sadly didn't really get to race him much at all today. But nonetheless then the safety car is out, and interestingly both the top two went in the pits then. I didn't actually know that you could serve 5-second penalties in the pits under safety car. I don't think you can do that in real life, but apparently you can in the game, so that's what Pyro did there. I'm not sure why Jono pit though, because I didn't think he had a penalty, so I think maybe he was just going for some fresh tyres there, knowing that he'd maybe still be second or third. I'm not sure about that, but nonetheless then we take the lead of the race, so yeah, that is good for us then. I think we were already looking quite good anyway, but that's certainly made things a lot better for us then, as in fact the safety car lags there a bit, and we've actually been hit from behind by Pyro and the safety car. We've got away with it, we're back pointing the right way, and I believe Pyro actually landed himself another penalty for that, so that actually just plays into our hands even more there then. And yeah, the safety car's coming in now then with 10 laps to go, and we're looking pretty good here I think. But yeah, a bit of a nervous moment there then as we were pitched into a bit of a spin, and you can see from, yeah, the safety car did lag a bit, so I did drop back very slightly, but yeah, still we were punted from behind a bit, and yeah, that landed Pyro with another penalty then, as the safety car is now going to be coming in then at the end of this lap. And yeah, as I was saying, I think I was looking in a good position anyway, but now we're looking in an even better one, because we've got track position, we're in the lead, and obviously, you know, overtaking in these conditions is quite difficult with no DRS, and yeah, just hard to get a good run out of corners. So we're going to lead away now then, and hopefully maintain our lead, because we want to just have like a nice clear run now into the checkered flag, no penalties, into turn 1 then. And in fact we've actually been punted again there then by Pyro, and this time he has broken his front wing by the looks of things. We managed to get away with that one then, hopping over the grass a bit, but we've maintained our lead, and we just see again and into turn 1 he was a bit later than us on the brakes, and he ran at the back of us there, and yeah, that is his front wing damaged there. So things looking very good for us though, but of course we can't forget about Jono, who is behind us then. He is now on a lap fresher tyres than us, having made that second stop, and he does set a fastest lap of the race there then, so we're going to have to watch out for him. But obviously, as I was saying, you know, he's really going to have to pick his moment if he's going to go for the overtake here, because it is very difficult to obviously pass in these conditions. As what I was hoping for really was just that, yeah, this would happen, that I would maintain some, you know, good tyre life and be able to pull out later on in the stint. That is what happened then. We managed to get the gap out to about 2 seconds there, so by the closing stage then it's looking pretty good for us then, even though Jono did actually close up a bit again right towards the end, but I think he did actually end up with some corner cam penalties. So for us, we were looking pretty good at this stage. I mean, we just had to not make any mistakes, and we were looking pretty good here then to take the win. And I had a bit of fuel, and also air saved up, so I was really just going to try and go for it on this final lap where I could. Also, I didn't want to push too hard in places where it wouldn't be necessary, just to see if I could grab the fast lap, because I did still have a good amount of life left in the tyres to still push, and obviously the car's a lot more lighter now, so I was really trying to just push where I could here then, like on the straights where there wasn't much chance that I would just drop the car, I guess. So yeah, we're just going to try and push as much as we can on this final lap, then see if we can get that fastest lap as well, and also just make sure that there's absolutely no chance that we can be caught, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case, obviously, with those penalties as well for Jono. So yeah, it's been a very good first race for us then. Yeah, it's looking like it's going to be a very yeah, it's going to look like it's going to be a win for us then. I think that setup change did play a part then. It just made the car a lot more stable in these conditions. Our tyre wear was good. It just allowed us to drive consistently, not make any mistakes, and I think even without that second safety car we may well have been in the lead here then. As we cross line then to take the first win of FXR, and we take the fastest lap on the final lap as well, so pretty much the perfect way to start off the season then. And it is yeah, Jono then, who was on the podium alongside us then. He really pushed us hard then in that final stint, and yeah, we couldn't find a way past him earlier on, so yeah, he's only gave us a good fight then in this race. And yeah, it's a shame for Pyro that his challenge really faded away then in the second half, as it was Manzi then who joined us in the Renault then on the podium. But yeah, for us then it's the perfect start. There are the final results then, and yeah, we took a comfortable win then once you factor in the penalties as well there. So yeah, very good start for us then. Hopefully there'll be more people on the grid next time out, so we can have a few more people then in the mix. And yeah, hopefully a dry race as well, because I think that maybe contributed to a few of the mistakes here then. Not a lot of people were anticipating there being a wet race. But yeah, that was it then for this first round of FXR. Hope you enjoyed it, and I look forward to bringing you more races then from this season. And yes, good to be finally back doing some league racing. Yep, so thank you for watching, and I shall see you next time for Bahrain.